Last Monday after YCS Knoxville, I pretty much had all day to just sort of do whatever I wanted in Tennessee because my girlfriend and I's flights weren't until later that evening. One of the things that I decided to do was go to a mall and just sort of check out some of the shops that they had, and they actually had a lot of cool places. One of those places was called CM Games, which was actually one of the vendors that was at the YCS, and they had tons of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic products. It was pretty cool. I took a picture, I posted it on Twitter, and while I didn't quite have as old or rare or collectible items as I found at Core TCG back when I visited California, they did have a lot of cool stuff that wasn't super old but was relatively old. Pretty much every single product release, at least core set wise, from the last like 5 to 7 years was at that shop, and it allowed me to pick up some pretty cool products. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some of these Duelist Alliance packs in Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, and as the title would suggest, the reason I chose these two above all else, although I do have a sealed box that will open in probably a few weeks or whatever. I really like these packs because these are the ones that changed Yu-Gi-Oh! Forever. Duelist Alliance is probably, if you watch like the video that I did a couple days ago with my friend Lucas, we talked about times in Yu-Gi-Oh's history where the game changed the most. It was probably Duelist Alliance if we're looking at recent additions to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because this set really did change everything. As for Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, that was the set that Dragon Rulers and Spellbook of Judgment were in, and also some really cool rogue cards for decks like Harpies. Overall, if there's going to be two sets in the modern era of Yu-Gi-Oh! That really did change things forever, these are going to be the two that you're looking at. I don't know what we'll pull here, and we have a couple first edition Lord of Tachyon Galaxy. I think all of these Duelist Alliance are first edition, so it's pretty cool. These are just pulled out of boxes that they had. In the case of both of these, I probably would have bought a box, especially of Duelist Alliance, but they didn't have any sealed boxes left. So we'll take a look at these and probably open all of these packs in today's video. So first off, let's go through Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, and I'll kind of talk about some of the cards that are in this set that we can pull, and then sort of talk about their impact on the game as a whole. So we have Green Dustin, Battling Boxes were in there, pretty exciting. That weird card, a Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Leopard. We have Ice Beast Zero Fane. This card used to be insanely popular in any Winged Beast strategy. It has a blanket negation effect that negates everything that's face up on the field. Pretty insane, actually. Then we have Little Fairy, Risebell the Star Adjuster, Eagle Shark, and Five Brothers Explosion. So we have some Fire Fist cards in here. I don't know if Chicken was released in this one, but I know that we had some support for the level 3 version of Fire Fist, which was pretty popular back in the day and saw some success once Chicken got unlimited. Starfish, Jewels of the Valiant, still one of the cards that I say is like has some of the most potential out of cards that aren't played right now. This card does have a lot of crazy combos that you can do, just needs to find the right home. We have Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Wolf, React and Dragon Lord Pebbles. So we got those Dragon Lords. The actual Dragon Lords, the big ones, not the baby ones like Reactin, are really, really difficult to pull. I don't think it's, I mean, it's pretty unlikely that we'll pull them in just 7 packs, but I think those cards are really cool. They used to be like 1 or 2 copies a box of any Dragon Lord, so it's going to be pretty tough to pull them, but we'll see. We have Chaos Exceeds, Dark Fairy Cheer Girl. And we have a super rare. Once again, you probably noticed in the last pack, these super rares are not guaranteed. None of the holos are. We have Fire Formation Goiko. I don't know how to pronounce that. This card was played for a while, actually. A pretty staple card in most Fire Fist decks. Sort of had a Night Beam type effect that locked the card down. This card also saw some success in Duel Links as well. Shark Fortress, pretty commonly played rank 5 monster to do some OTKs. We have another Leopard there. Leopard is one of the most important cards for the Fire Fist level 3, rank 3 strategy, just because you could summon it and then send to the grave, and then you would get the Fire Formation Tenki or Tensu, whichever one you needed. Sort of jumpstart your combos there. So going here. We have Mermail Abyss Oshia. Now this card didn't make a huge impact when it came out. This is sort of not when Mermails were at their best. They sort of got power crept by Dragon Rulers. However, it should be noted this card has seen tons of play, especially now that we have some pretty crazy Xyz monsters. I think when Bahamut Shark came out, this card was insanely popular in those Mermail decks. You could switch it off of Abyss Tias and then just combo off. It was pretty insane. Fire King Avatar Garunix, insanely good card. I mean, not for what it does, but for what it is. This card was really good in Cosmo Fire Kings once Fire King Island came out. Mind Drain, this card never really caught on. You know, we have Skill Drain and Soul Drain both limited, but Mind Drain never really worked. The problem was that this thing is made to counter hand traps for the most part, but because it's a trap card, it's way too slow. Cards like Call by the Grave eventually would sort of try this again and actually do pretty successful, but Mind Drain never really caught on, even against Dragon Lords, where all of their cards have hand activating effects. And we have Big Whale, and oh my gosh, Okay, so we pulled an Ultimate Rare, which is pretty cool, because Ultimate Rares don't come in core sets anymore. Of course, this Ultimate Rare is not the best one that you could pull. I don't even know what I guess the Heartbeat cards would be pretty cool. So we have Mermail Abyssalian, or whatever this card is, this big whale. The funny thing about this guy was that you had to discard 4 Mermail monsters to summon him, not Atlanteans. That made him pretty bad. Just a really big lesson in that just because it's Ultimate Rare, just because it looks cool, and just because it's a Mermail monster, doesn't necessarily mean it's good, but that is a pretty funny Ultimate Rare to pull. Stream Dragon Wave Droplets, we pulling all the baby dragons, but not the big ones. Like I said, pretty hard to pull them. Man, I really do, I don't know, Ultimate Rares hit or miss, because you can pull like cards that are like this one where it's not very good at all, but I think it's still cool. I think it's exciting pulling Ultimate Rares out of these core sets. You can't really do that anymore. We have Brotherhood of the Firefist Buffalo, and no way, is that, oh my gosh, 2 Ultimate Rares right in a row. Well, I guess we know these weren't scaled. That's pretty insane, though. A much better Ultimate Rare. We have Constellar Omega, and this card was really popular in any deck that could make it. Takes 2 level 4 light monsters once per turn in either player's turn. You can attach 1 Exceeding Material from this card. All Constellar monsters you control are currently unaffected by spell and traps effects this turn. Basically, you just summon this thing into a bunch of back row, and then if they use something, you could attach a material. It protected itself, so you don't even have to be playing a Constellar deck for that card to be useful. That's crazy, pulling 2 Ultimate Rares. That is pretty exciting. Man, yeah, there's just nothing like pulling an Ultimate Rare, even if it's not the best card. It's cool. That one actually was played a lot, though, so that's cool to pull. That weird guy, Go Gigas, and we got Legendary Atlantean Tryon. Some random cards here. Spellbook Miracles, never really caught on. It's funny to have seen all the Spellbook cards released alongside Judgment. Like, Judgment is just way too crazy. Who's ever gonna play Spellbook Miracles in those types of decks? We have another Go Gigas, and we have, oh wow, we're pulling so many holos. This is actually insane. So we have Constellar Sombre, very good card, and we got basically the same card for Evil Swarms as well. Really important card. Constellar saw some play before this card came out, and as well as Evil Swarms, mainly Evil Swarms for sure, but this card really pushed those decks into solid rogue status. The Evil Swarm equivalent is Tachyon as well. But just giving you extra normal summons was really helpful, because those decks were famously bad for the reason that you had to use 2 cards for all our summons. All their cards were minuses, whereas this one you could just add a card back to your hand, which is pretty crazy, at least considerable or comparable to the other things that were being played back then. Wheel of Prophecy, and oh my gosh, this is crazy. How many? We pulled 5 holos out of 7 packs. That is nuts. We have number 107 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. You might have recently seen this card played in some Blue Eyes decks or some decks playing rank 8s. Once Cypher Dragon came out, this card wasn't as popular, but at least when Blue Eyes was being played, people were playing this card pretty consistently. You might even find it in some of my older Blue Eyes deck profiles. But that is all of the Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy stuff. That is just like, I can't believe we pulled that many holos. It's pretty unlikely in these older packs, especially considering the box is already gone through. I was expecting like maybe 1 holo if any. So anyway, now we can go through the Duelist Alliance packs. But no Dragon Wars, as you can see. It is pretty tough pulling those Dragon Wars. We have Cloud Castle, Super Heavy Samurai, Satanai Onukahara, very good card. Number 58, Burner Visor Dogu. Hey, that's my name. That's 6. I guess we are putting the rares. That's 6. Shaddoll Hedgehog, insanely good Shaddoll monster. Yang Zing Unleash. Some more Super Heavy Samurai cards. And I think with Duelist Alliance, it was sort of the same idea as a lot of like the first of any sort of new mechanic. This was the first pendulum mechanic. And not that this necessarily relates to pendulums, but I think a lot of the themes that you see in this set were continued on with the next one, New Challengers. We've seen that multiple times. We kind of saw it this past time, and we also saw it during Synchro Summoning. Pretty much anytime that Konami introduces a new mechanic, the first 2 sets oftentimes share a lot of the archetypes. Go through here. Hippo Carnival actually played in Monarchs for a little bit. Or no, it's Super Hippo Carnival. Yeah, this one wasn't. Super Hippo Carnival was played in some Monarch decks. Formidable Turn Toad, which, funnily enough, actually was played, I believe, at the 2016 WCQ for some reason, just because, I'm pretty sure just because it outed Domain, because you could activate this in the scale switch of Monarch to have, like, not a lot of attack points, and just run it over. Pretty funny stuff. Despots, those Despots. We have the Saphira Ritual, and Saphira is in this set as well, one of the best-looking Ultimate Rares, in my opinion, although pretty unlikely that we'll pull that. I say after pulling 2 Ultimate Rares out of the same 7 packs. Pretty crazy. Pop up Battle Guard King. We got a Seer. Remember, this is the first editions of these Burning Abyss cards, the very first line of support. We got Dante, we got Seergraph Skarm, and we also had the Trap. What is that? Traveler in the Burning Abyss or something like that. But we got 5 cards. 4 of them were extremely competitive. It might seem funny nowadays if you go back and look at some of those early Burning Abyss lists because, oh man, they were pretty bad. People just didn't know how to play them at all. It was pretty funny. Then we have Monarch Stormforth. Recently went back to Unlimited, I think a couple balance ago. This card was pretty underrated when it came out in this set. This is way before a lot of that Monarch support, although it should be noted, I played this card a lot in the Battery Man deck because Battery Man 9-Volt was in the set as well. And that was a pretty good budget deck, I thought. Maybe a little bit worse than I thought it was. There it is. Yeah, Battery Man 9-Volt. So you had 9-Volt, you had the Stormforth, you could tribute your opponent's monsters for Charger. Pretty cool stuff. I like that deck a lot. Panzer Dragon. Oh my gosh. This card brings me back. This is one of the better instant fusion targets. Obviously, these days we have some pretty crazy cards, including Norden, which is banned. But Panzer Dragon was pretty cool. You could summon it from instant fusion, and you could do some Battery Man combos with it. You could do other combos with it. It was a level 5 light monster. Pretty cool that way. But more importantly, if you didn't want to do anything with this card, you could just end your turn and then it would blow up because of the instant fusion, then you'd be able to destroy a card. So that's actually a pretty neat little way to kill one of your opponent's cards. Made instant fusion not just a combo card, but also a card that's like removal. We have UA Stadium, which Duel Links players might be curious to learn that UAs were terrible. Oh, so bad in the TCG. Obviously in Duel Links, they were one of the top decks for a little while, especially with Cyber Style in the game, but they were still a pretty good rogue deck even after Cyber Style got nerfed. Then we have Shaddoll Squamata, the one that was every Shaddoll monster basically. Pretty cool. Gaia the Polar Knight, the Melodious cards, pretty crazy. Perform Pel Kaleidoscorp, Battle Guard Howling. I don't know if I can say this. Well, yeah, I probably can. Konami really liked the burn variant of Shaddolls, or not Shaddolls, of Satellanites. This is one of the cards that they really felt like I'm screwing up here with these commons. This is one of the cards that Konami really thought that a lot of Satellite players would play. You might have seen a couple feature matches with the burn variant of Satellanites. I think that's pretty commonly known that they liked that version of the deck. I think they might have even posted one on their YouTube channel back in the day. But Battle Guard Howling and Magic Cylinder, those types of cards were thought to be pretty good with Satellanites. Obviously not the most popular variant, but a pretty cool variant nevertheless. I've even made an entire video talking about that deck if you're curious. Yangzing Prana, Artifact Lancia, what a great card. Obviously, I mean, what better time to pull Artifact Lancia than right now? This card is in high demand, very high demand. It is very shortly here, very soon getting a super rare reprint, which is going to be pretty exciting. That's going to be in Battles of Legend. But for now, at least for the WCQ, we're just kind of stuck with commons. But still, I'll even put that in the holographic pile. That card is insanely desirable right now. One of those guys. These ones, we're not pulling any hollows, which I guess is fair after we pulled so many crazy cards out of those Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. Once again, I don't think these were necessarily scaled or not scaled. I guess I do think they were not scaled. I just think that you can just get some variants and not necessarily pull all supers and ultras and secrets and stuff. So we have Graph, Malbranchi of the Burning Abyss, which is limited alongside Seer, although in the OCG both those cards are unlimited. I think in the OCG like every single Burning Abyss card is unlimited except they have just one copy of Dante, which is really crazy. I think if we had that in the TCG, a lot of people will be playing that deck. We love our Burning Abyss cards. I'll say that much. UA Mighty Slugger. We are not going to pull any hollows. It's going to be very sad. We got Nefarious Archfiend Eater of Nefariousness, a card that actually was considered playable for a little while. Not super long, but you also have that guy alongside Jacobite as well, which is kind of a fun card in some of those older Pendulum builds. Hippo Carnival again, Chain Dispel, Recover, Cloud Castle, Skarm. We actually managed to pull Seergraph and Skarm. That is pretty cool. I don't remember if those cards were short printed. I don't believe they were. I remember having like not playsets of all of them after a box, but almost playsets of all of them. I mean, you can't expect to pull every single rare out of every single box, at least not a playset. But that is kind of cool that we managed to pull Seergraph and Skarm in just a few packs, even though we're probably not going to pull any hollows. But we have 2 packs left. We'll take a look at these and see what we can get. Just one hollow would be pretty cool. Maybe I should have just done the Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy video. No, I wanted to look at both sets. I mean, even though we're not playing hollows, you can see we've pulled a lot of good cards. These cards are all insane. Monarch Stormforth is really good. Lots of cool cards. Even Panzer Dragon, lots of stuff was played out of these sets. We have Breaker the Dark Magical Warrior, and not a hollow. Man, rest in peace, Duelist Alliance. One last pack there. We can kind of see what we can pull. Probably nothing too special if the last million packs are an example of what's to come. We'll see here. Chain of Spell, Panzer Dragon again, and once again, 0 holos out of those Duelist Alliance packs. Man, what an up and down sort of video here. We have, out of 7 packs, we were able to pull 5 holos in Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. These commons are just sort of falling over. And then out of, I think, 9 Duelist Alliance packs, we pulled 0 holos. Pretty disappointing there. I guess whoever bought the rest of the packs in that box got a lot of good pulls, whereas we sort of got the, I mean, these were like the, I just want to let it be known that in the boxes that I bought these from, these were just all the packs that were left. So that means, in the case of the Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy person, someone must have just bought enough packs to pull the secret and then just stopped buying them, but I was able to pull a lot of the ultimates and stuff. I know that there were some first ed and non-first ed packs in there, but it's kind of interesting to think about how that happened. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching this video where we opened some packs. Even though we're not a pack opening channel, this is all part of Yu-Gi-Oh's history, and there's no better way to look at Yu-Gi-Oh's history than open some packs at some older cards and sort of talk about how good or bad they were back in the day. There's probably a couple better ways, but this is one of the ways out there at least. I'll see you later though. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.